This is Verna from stampandnotes.com. Tonight I'm going to make this card featuring the stamps and dies from the Tasteful Touches suite. It is a beautiful set, and if you haven't seen it, it's one you're going to want to add to your collection. This is a stamp set right here. Has great font. I love the sayings, just saying hello, you are so special. And this is the die set, and these are tags. Some of them are stitched. Some the ones that aren't stitched have a like a solid line, couple lines all the way around, and these round circles have a wavy line. So lots of texture, lots of design in this set. And not only the set, but the designer series paper. This is a paper sampler with the front and back of each piece of designer series paper in this set. These are the coordinating cardstock colors. And on the back, it shows there's tiles, fabric, brick, cement look, rug look, all kinds of rustic texture kind of look. This is a beautiful designer series paper set, and that you'll also want to add. So to make this card, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need for your supplies. You're going to need a piece of Rococo Rose cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You need a piece of basic gray for your mat. On the front here, it's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. You need a piece of the Good Taste designer series paper, and if you can see, this is tiles. And this piece is 5 1/4 by 4. You need a scrap piece of Whisper White for your tag, a scrap piece of basic gray to do your tag, and on the inside you need a piece of Whisper White that's 5 1/4 by 4. So the first thing we're going to do is, oh, I forgot to say, you also need Rococo Rose scrap piece for the leaves. And these leaves are die cut with the leaf from the sunflower dies. This little leaf right here. Actually, these leaves are pretty close to what a rose leaf is like, so that's why I use that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our rose. I've already done the two for the front to save time, but I want to show you how I colored that in. So we're going to stamp the inside Whisper White piece. Yep, that's the right one right there. And we're going to do it in Memento ink. That is the ink of choice for keeping your, if you use Stampin' Blends or a marker, keeping that color that you color in from bleeding. So I'm going to stamp that up like that. And we're going to stamp this in the lower right corner, like so. Now, I do not have the Rococo Rose Stamp and Blend, so I'm going to use a marker from the Subtles collection, and this is our Subtles collection. This is a great collection. It's only $15 for these markers. And there's a set in the Regals, all of our color selections, the subtles, the brights, neutrals. And what's nice about these markers is there is a brush tip, which is like this, it's wider. And also there is I call it a bullet tip, it's a finer tip. So I'm going to take my marker and I'm just going to outline where the black lines are to show the shape of the petal and the shadow on the petal. I'm just going to take the brush tip very lightly to do that. It doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. Just go around it like this. You just want a little splash of color on there to pull in the color from the cardstock, and it just adds a lot to the flower. The whole center I'm going to do in solid. What is really nice about these markers too is if you have a stamp that you don't have a color or an ink pad for, but you have the marker in that color, you can ink up that stamp with the marker. And that's a really neat, other neat use for that. Let's put a little more color there and right here. All right, so our inside piece is done. On the front, we've got the 2 roses that are done the same way. And we have 2 die cut leaves for each flower. This, we'll go ahead and stamp this "You Are So Special." And I'm bringing in Rococo Rose ink pad. And I'm just going to tap lightly on the ink pad and stamp it. And I'm going to take it to the die cutting machine. First I'll pull out the die that I want. So I'm going to use the smaller one for that, right here. I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've die cut that, and you can, there's a nice little edge that it puts around that whole tag. Then I'm going to bring in my basic gray scrap piece, and I have embossed this with the plank and PInewood Plank embossing folder, which is right here. And this is really cool because it adds a lot of texture to your cardstock, and especially with this set, we want a lot of texture. I'm going to take and run this through my die cutting machine. Okay, and then you just have to take off the paper adhesive backing. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you hit the bell on the right when you subscribe, then you will be notified the next time I upload a video. Also, I will have all of the description, what you need to make this card, down in the description below, and you can shop and purchase them at my online store. And if you, I'll have a link to my store there, and if you use the July host code for an order of $50 before tax and shipping, I will send you the playful resin dots. They're beautiful, and it's an $8 value. I'll send that to you free. And this is the host code for the that special during the month of July. Okay, we've got that on there. Now let's glue some of our layers together. We're really ready to put this together. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere. And it's just a fine line all the way around that. I'm going to come in with my Organdy ribbon, glitter Organdy ribbon. And I'm going to tie that all the way around this card and make a bow on the side. Not the card, the layers here. We'll make our bow on the side here. And you want to get it over as far as you can to the edge. And it's probably good enough. Now that's going to be anchored down with a tag, so I am not, normally I would put a glue dot under that to hold it in place, but the tag's going to be over and it's going to be anchored with that, so I'm not going to do that. And we need to trim that tail. And these are our little paper snips. They're great, nice and sharp. And now I am going to take, see, I'm going to pull this over a little bit. And I am just going to glue this down. Like that. All right, now I'm going to bring those flowers in, those beautiful flowers. And I'm also going to put them on the cardstock with dimensionals. Pop them up a bit. I'll use about 4 on each one. And we'll put one this way. And the other one we're going to put up here, going kind of tipping the other way. Okay, so when you put your flowers on, you kind of want to have a center line going through the center of your card right there. That's how I line them up. I'm going to bring in the leaves. I want 2 leaves, a pair of leaves on each flower, and for the leaves I am only adding a dab of glue to the one end that's going to slide underneath the flower, because I'd like that to stick up a little bit. You can add more if you want. And then I want that down. These 2. And this leaf is going to come down over our label. This one I actually want up over that a little bit. We'll just hold that a minute. Okay, now let's add a couple rhinestones to the front. You can't go wrong with rhinestones. And we'll add a little bit of glitter to the front there. And I'm bringing in my Take a Pick tool to do that. And I think I'll put a larger one on the center bottom here. Another one right there. Okay, our front is done. Isn't that pretty? Now, I'm going to take my glue. We need to put this on our cardstock base. Okay, it's very artsy. The paper, the whole set. All right, there's our front. Isn't that pretty? And I left this blank. Sometimes I'll leave my cards blank as far as the center. And then I can pull it and use it for birthday, you know, thinking of you, whatever. There, so it says you are so special, and you could use it for birthday, a lot of different occasions. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you get to stop by my blog, stampinnotes.com, and check out the different blogs I have and the different posts. Take care.